Hello everyone, my name is Dogly. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my daily artifact farming route. Many of you know that there are lots of little sparklies with hidden artifacts hidden throughout Teyvat. However, some of these sparklies actually respawn after 24 hours or so. The benefit to farming these every day is that you can collect white and green artifacts that you can fodder into your 5-star artifacts for artifact EXP. Usually every 3 days or so you can then get enough EXP to level up a 5-star artifact all the way to plus 20, which can greatly speed up your account progression if you're a free-to-play or low budget player. Basically, it's a resin-free way to get artifact XP. My daily route takes about 15 minutes to do, but it might take slightly longer in this video due to slowing down for narration purposes. My route covers most of Inazuma and Liyue. There's a few good locations in the chasm that I won't go over, but if you are somebody who has a daily artifact route of your own, please let me know if I miss some good spots. Without further ado, let's start farming. So to start off here, we are on this island, right off of the main part of Inazuma. So it's right next to the Violet Court domain, and you can use a little electro thing to just easily get up here and climb up. You'll also notice that a lot of these artifact spots will give you some Mora as well. So that's just a nice way to get Mora. And you can also sell artifacts for Mora if you wish to instead. If you're low on Mora, then you can sell the artifacts instead of using them as experience fodder. So I usually start right here on this island, and then I come down over here. I usually go to this spot as well because there's crystal flies, and it's really close to the teleport spot. And we'll teleport over closer to the domain here. And under the tent, there are 3 artifacts. You'll also notice that I'm selectively choosing to ignore some of the sparklies. So this sparkly here will give you food instead of an artifact, so I don't pick this one up. And it's just been because I've been doing this for so long that I kind of know which ones drop artifacts and which ones don't. And I find that if you accidentally grab the food, it will kind of eat into the daily spawns that you're allowed to get. One of the things is, while you can do these artifact routes daily, you can't really get an infinite amount of artifacts, and the game will only spawn so many per day for you. And once you hit that limit of sparkly spawns that you've collected, the game won't give you any more. So that's why I like to avoid doing sparklies that I know are not artifacts or weapons. And then this one's also here really close to 4 specters that I also just include in my daily farming route, because sometimes getting their drops are really helpful for a lot of weapon and character ascensions. Alright, and I will teleport to the statue of the 7 here. Some free carrots. This one's an artifact. This one's a weapon. So this sparkly here is not an artifact, but this one is. Hop down the hole, and there's 2 more in here. So this one's a little tricky because sometimes getting down in the hole is a bit confusing. On the wall next to the vine that you can climb up, on that wall there's 2, but on the other walls, those ones are not artifacts. Climb out, glide over here, there's 1. You can pick up some berries if you want to along the way, and then on these boxes, 1 more artifact. Now we're done with that whole island, so I'm going to go up here to where that fire cube is, where the pyro cube is. And then this is where, in some spots, you'll notice that having a character who has faster mobility can be really helpful, because sometimes you'll have to walk a fair amount. You can also, of course, use the jump run to go slightly faster. This one here is a weapon, but I like weapons on my route as well. This sparkly here is food, so I ignore it.
Take it easy.
Artifact, weapon, food, don't pick up.
Take it easy.
And again, this one here is food, so don't pick it up. Now we're going to teleport over here. This is one of the cannon locations. So I think I already picked these ones up during my daily quest, but I'll just show you where they are. There's 1 on this box, 1 on this box, and 1 up here. And then you can glide down. And I haven't picked up the ones over here. But yeah, today I had a daily location that had me use that teleport, so I just picked them up real fast. 1 here, 1 here, and the 3rd here, and you can ignore the other sparklies, they're just food. Up next I'll teleport up on top of the mountain over here. Then drop down, and there'll be 2 artifacts here. So I do want to say that there is 1 artifact if you teleport to the Statue of the Seven, and then you kind of go under the path underneath. There is 1 artifact there, but because it's just 1 lonely artifact, I usually don't include it in my personal run.
Take it easy.
Also, there are a few locations where having the fan to increase your gliding speed is helpful. Alright. Go inside the house. There's 1 artifact. 1 on the boxes here. And some more on the ropes here. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to walk over here, because walking over here you can pick up free crystal cores as well. There's a free beetle if you need it. But 1 on the box kind of in the back there. There's 1 inside this building, but if you stand right in the corner, you can pick it up even if you're outside. And then there's 3 more after you climb up these stairs. 1 on this one, here, and here. There's a lot of other sparklies around, but those do not give you artifacts. From here, I teleport to this island way over here. There's 2 artifacts really close to the waypoint here. 1, 2. There are some over here as well, but they're more spread out, and generally I think it's not worth going there. But close to this teleport, there's a few artifacts that are pretty close together. First one is down here.
Take it easy.
After you cross the bridge, one more here. And then you can kind of glide over into this pond area. You'll notice that on this island, a lot of these kind of rock shrine shaped things will have artifacts. And then we can teleport to the Statue of the Seven. One there and one here in the pond.
Take it easy.
And then we gotta do a little bit of climbing for the next one. Come on, Toma, you can do it.
Say no more.
Gotcha.
One down there. One in the boxes here. And then there's 2 in the cave. I don't know what loach pearls can be used for in the future, but I usually grab them as well. Alright, so the next one is going to be a little bit of a glide, so this is where having that red fan will be really helpful. So teleport to the center, and then you go in this direction and you can fly straight out. What we're doing is we're going to be aiming for kind of the electro bloom so that we can teleport up higher, and that'll get us closer to the other side of the water over here. Climb the ladder for 2 artifacts. One down here. And then 2 more near the tent. And that's all for my Inazuma artifacts. So from this point, I go to Dragon Spine for 2 quick locations.
It's getting a little cold. Time to bundle up. Take it easy.
You'll need a short character to get under there. And then the second Dragon Spine location is over here. climb over the rocks, and then there's a nice little cave. If you want to farm this type of ore, star silver ore, you can as well. There's 3 slimes that appear right here.
Busted.
And then 3 artifacts on the boxes. Up next, we teleport to Sal Teray. If you have like Ayaka, you can just, ice dash across the water. Kokomi can walk on the water as well really fast. If not, you gotta walk around. But I really like this spot just because there's 3 so close together, and a lot of them usually will spawn 2 artifacts each. You'll notice that some of these spots from day to day, they'll spawn slightly different amounts of artifacts. Sometimes they'll spawn white artifacts, sometimes they'll spawn green artifacts. It's a little bit random.
Take it easy.
Some in the market over there. And there's one more on these, kind of on this pile of cloth. I tend to find that violet grass is something that is a bit hard to find in Liyue, so I usually grab these 2 violet grass on the way. If you don't need them, you don't need them. And then we can go over to this treasure hoarder camp.
Take it easy.
There's one on this grouping here, and there's 2 over here. And then I see that a lot of other people, when they're doing their daily artifacts, they miss the one that's right kind of hidden out of view from that camp, but really close by. And that's over here in these kind of wagons. One thing to note is that if you have a tall male character, getting into the wagons can be hard, but any other kind of character will go into the wagons really easy. We're approaching and probably one of the best locations in the game, because there's 5 sparklies right next to each other. But before we do that, I usually grab the Mora from this well. Watch out for the boar here. And there's 1 artifact here. This is a nice little hidden spot. I'm sure many of you have found it already. But 5 sparkles in here. When I go out, I usually check this hill because a lot of times there's an event there, which can give you a few weapon enhancement and companionship experience.
Quiet now. Busted.
And we can jump down. And then the last one in this area is on the dock here. Note that the fishing spot is over there. There's some sparklies there, but those sparklies do not have artifacts. Now, I think sometimes it's tricky and you might accidentally go to the Taishan mansion, but it's really important to go to the waypoint next to it instead. There's going to be a bunch of slimes that will spawn here, so sometimes it's just faster to get rid of them really quick. One artifact in the tent, and then another on the boxes over here. And then we teleport right back to that same waypoint. And then instead we go the opposite direction. And there's 3 artifacts here. 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th spot right here on the map, but because it's a little bit of a walk, I usually skip it. There's 2 at this waypoint. And then there's 2 more if we teleport up here and glide over. There's a few more than just these 2 in the stone forest here. But I find that they're generally like really far spread out, so I usually don't go there. And then at this point, sometimes I've reached my daily artifact limit, but sometimes I haven't. And then usually I'll just teleport to the Wangshu Inn for the last few, if they tend to spawn. Which some days they do, some days they don't, depending on how many artifacts I've collected in other locations. Alright, and it seems like I'm already at my limit, so there is one on this box here, and then you can swim over. You could just take the bridge, but I generally find that the swimming distance is a lot shorter and takes a lot less time. Then we can walk over here, and there would be some artifacts on this area, and then some on this shelf as well. And then that's usually where I end my artifact runs every day. Alright, let me know what spots I've missed in this video, and let me know if this video was helpful for you. Again, this is something that I really recommend low budget and free-to-play players do every day. It takes about 15 minutes. You get a lot of artifacts. After roughly 3 days, you can get enough artifact fodder to plus 20 one of your 5-star artifacts. And that's just going to make your progression go so much faster, especially if you're somebody who hasn't really been able to level up your artifacts that much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.